Oh, it's not like it used to be.
What Jim Isles had found was the most important archaeological discovery ever made in New Zealand. It was the grave of a young chief. The design of his ornaments and the shape of his adzes pointed unmistakably to the origins of his culture, the islands of eastern Polynesia. But the artifacts weren't brought here. They were made in New Zealand from local stone and Moa bones. Also buried with the chief was a Moa's egg with a drill hole in one end of it, a vessel for carrying water. This and other evidence showed that these people from eastern Polynesia had found the Moa the most important of all their resources. Altogether, about 40 graves were excavated on the Wairau Bar. They tell the story of a community of tall, well-built Polynesians. The end of the Wairau Bar was the perfect spot for catching moas. They probably chased them onto the boulder bank and drove them towards the far end. There was no escape, and the birds were slaughtered, cut up, and consumed where the Moa Hunters built their village. People from the eastern Pacific had not only lived in New Zealand alongside the moa, but in many places they'd come to depend on it. They used its flesh for food, its eggshells for carrying water, its skin for clothing, and its bone for making tools and ornaments, and all this very, very many years before the Great Fleet reached Aotearoa. The men who hunted the moa in New Zealand found it very different from the tropical islands they'd left behind. There were very few of them, of course, but they very skillfully adapted their eastern Polynesian culture to cope with a chillier and more hostile environment. What a change it was from the tropics.